Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, SWGOH fans of all ages, please put your hands together and your speakers on for the hosts of the Real Sith of Genius livestream, Ranger J1999 and Finity.
Real Sith of Genius is not taped in front of a live studio audience.
Power of the dark side.
Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another live broadcast of the Real Sith of Genius. I'm Ranger J99, and with me is Finity. Finity, what's going on, brother?
I am so tired from all of those calculations this week that I just forgot to unmute my mic before I started talking. That's a week.
Yeah, that's weak sauce. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting there, saw you moving your mouth. I was like,
"Is
"Is
this
this
a tiresome week?"
It's are we watching a kung fu movie or what are we doing?" And for those who don't know, Finn, what are you talking about with why you've been so tired, man? What's been going on with you, brother?
So there's always work, there's real life that always gets in the way, and then on yesterday, some of my meetings for work kind of got moved around a little bit, so I decided to work on something that the community was kind of looking for a while, which is trying to figure out how defense and armor works together. And I brute forced a formula that was kind of insane in actuality. There's probably an easier way to do it, but the formula I came up with was just really, really bizarre, but it seemed to be pretty accurate. Our friends in the Rebel Base community helped us kind of test it, and it came pretty close, within 0.1% armor of all the values. So I created a calculator and put that up on our website, and coming up with that formula was very tiresome.
I don't know how you do half the stuff you do and why you do it. So, that being said, let's get into some of this stuff, man. We got a lot going on. Finn was telling me how much was in the news, and I was like, "What? What the hell are you saying?" Kind of a lot of stuff going on. First of all, let's do some shout outs. Let's see who's up in the voice chat. Let's give some peeps some. Again, I always want to shout out my new homies. Always ask me questions. MK, Johnny 5, of course Enrique, who had some interesting comments today about that.
Yeah, if you guys aren't in the Rebel Base, you guys should come to that Discord. The link is in the YouTube description. Just come and hang out and have different discussions. We were earlier discussing Pop-Tarts and Keebler Elf cookies and Belgian waffles and oh man, it's just
communists,
always Star Wars related.
Lions and tigers and bears and breakfast cereals and orangutans. I mean, good Lord in heaven. But yeah, we do have a lot of fun in there. Who's in the chat right now? My thing's being super slow.
So we have good old Maurice, who was the first one here.
Oh,
and just
for
reference, by the way, he sees my hair. It's kind of my lazy end of the day kind of hair at this point. And no, I have no mousse in my hair. It is naturally this spiky.
Holy
moly. I know, right? And we have Ewok and Joe Buck stream also.
Nice.
So that's always good. And we have one of our guildies, Demortian.
Very nice.
So he's here with us.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna give a shout out here, even though he's not here because he's on his way to Japan. Bimasu is here with us in spirit.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, for Mr. Bimatsu. Okay, so let's kind of get into some of the stuff that's been going on with the news. What do we got first, Finn? What do you want to get into? Let's delve deep into some of this stuff. What's on the agenda first off?
So just one thing really quick. I don't know if it's just my stream or not. Is the stream working well for everybody? It's kind of laggy on my end, but I have no idea what's going on.
Is it?
So if you guys can tell us. We're gonna keep forging ahead, but if the stream is kind of getting weird, let us know. So the first thing is something you might be able to do with us right now, Ranger, which is the Ewok assault battles. Apparently, they're up and running.
Oh, are
Are they
they?
up and running on your game?
Let me look. They are up and running.
All right, so let's go ahead and play around with this while I give you guys a little bit of information so you can see Ranger doing it live.
Should I go for the bonus tier or just start off with the hard tier? I've already completed the hard tier. Oh well, let's just go.
So good old Maurice is saying that my voice from your end is coming kind of in and out, and it's laggy.
All right, let me check what's going on. So, gotta have a good stream. Not getting a good signal. Why are we not getting a good signal?
We are working on this signal, guys. Thank you for letting us know.
Bear with us for a second. I'm checking to see what could possibly be doing that.
I think it's working a little bit better now.
Okay, it looks like it's looking a little bit better now. Okay, so just keep us posted, guys. If running these streams, it's not the easiest thing in the world, and trust me, I know. All right, so let's see here.
We do have a breaking question, though, Ranger, for you.
Oh, let's do it.
Was that an original Chick-fil-A bag that you had, and what did you have inside?
Yes, my wonderful, beautiful wife brought me dinner. Let's see what she got me. I think I usually don't eat the taters, but I got a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. So awesome.
There you go.
There
that concludes this segment of What's in Ranger's Chick-fil-A bag.
With mayonnaise and mayonnaise.
Oh, you don't get the Polynesian sauce?
I don't think I think it's just what they gave her. I don't know why. So
yeah, I know. You have to ask for the Polynesian or for the Chick-fil-A sauce.
And
those two are really good.
So, yep, she wanted to make sure I eat. She always does. My wife's amazing. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna do the Ewok battle. We're still doing okay.
We're doing okay, except you need to move my Hangout window.
What's
You're
going on?
mousing all over my face again.
I can't be mousing all over your face because I'm watching OBS.
I know, but is the gameplay window on top of the Hangouts? I think that's why the mouse is showing up.
It's not.
Well, you're mousing all over my face. I prefer my face not to be moused.
Oh, for the love of Christ, deal with it.
All right, I'll have to deal with your mouse moving in all kinds of random orifices in my face.
All right, let's see. We're gonna go with Emperor lead. I don't even know why.
All right, so we have the Ewok assault. We'll get back to actual topics here.
Yeah.
So the Ewok assault is similar to the one that we just passed with the military might. There's going to be two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1 is geared towards level 78 to level 80 characters with Mark 1 to 2 mods, versus tier 2, which is going to have more gearing towards level 80s with gear 10 and with Mark 5 mods. The other thing also is that the achievement is only going to be linked with tier 1. So tier 2 is really just kind of a bonus challenge for everybody. Okay, so make sure that you try to do tier 1. It's been, I think, roughly 3 or 4 months since this event last came.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, it's been a while. Same thing with the other one. The assault battles had been not available for a little while. So, and I think it was closer to 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure that you guys try to do these. The reward isn't as rare as Palpatine, for example, because Palpatine, there's no way to get it. The rewards for this are going to be the Vader shards. But now, especially with another thing to kind of discuss, is that the shard shop has a refresh on it. So between the refresh there, a lot of people are going to start getting Vader. And Vader is a pretty tanky character, not a lot of base damage, but with his dots and with his sword throw, he can do a decent amount of damage, especially with Palpatine being everywhere. So you do want to make sure that you start paying attention to that.
I'm just AoEing the hell out of these things, dude. I got Tarkin in there with IG-88, Vader, the Emperor. The only one that's not really doing anything is just Royal Guard is just like, okay.
Oh, so that brings me to the next thing then. We are issuing our first Real Sith of Genius challenge to our viewers today.
Hmm.
Okay, so on this SWGOH Reddit, CG Capgasp was saying that this event, Tier 1 or Tier 2, cannot be soloed by Palpatine himself, which was something that some of the community members have brought up. If you do a video of you soloing either Tier 1 or Tier 2 of the Ewok event with just Palpatine, and you send us that video, we'll feature it next week. And we're also going to start to do some of these, like we're going to try to do some giveaways of certain things. We don't know what exactly it will be yet, but you will be first in line to get a giveaway from Real Sith of Genius. So if you guys have the time, try to solo Tier 1 or Tier 2 with just Palpatine and send us those videos.
Nice.
Ranger seems to be getting fairly close with this, but I don't know. I don't think you would be able to solo it, Ranger.
I have no interest.
you would get the promotional items anyways.
Yeah.
We're excluded.
Yeah. Oh well.
All Real Sith of Genius personnel are excluded, so that's you, me, and
Well, that's a bunch of baloney.
I know. I want to challenge these rules. I declare shenanigans.
Hmm.
So how is the Ewok battle treating you so far?
It's pretty easy, as a matter of fact. I mean, with Emperor and Grand Moff Tarkin in here, I mean, I'm just making mincemeat of these little fur balls. I'm just using
Compared
some basic...
to the other one, what do you think?
When I did it before, I did beat it, but it was a lot harder. One, I didn't have the Emperor. Two, I had to use a lot of droids with it, that I didn't really have that geared. But it seems pretty easy. But of course, I mean, my tunes are pretty geared, with high level mods. So, let's give them a little taste of Vader.
Oh, so if you guys are looking at a Rangers group composition, you probably have figured it out. But if you're not sure, the characters that are eligible for this event are Empire and Droid characters. Your rewards will be Ewok shards. So you'll get Ewok shards for all the different characters, which will be Chirpa, Ewok Elder, Ewok Scout, and Tebow. Something to keep in mind, which I was thinking about myself, is whether or not to delay completing this in hopes that they bring out Wicket, and then Wicket shards would be included in this. But I don't think I can wait that long.
Yeah.
Because you get the refresh anyways, so you'll still be able to do it, but something about getting Wicket with my first completion just made me a little bit happy. I'm probably still going to complete it.
Your unhealthy natural affinity for Ewoks is kind of scary.
They're little teddy bears.
Little monsters that eat people.
Well, unless you feed them.
And then
that's why Wicket is awesome.
And then use their heads as a as instrumentation.
I just want to have a little spear that I can raise in the air to show my anger.
Mm-hmm.
I think the stream is starting to become laggy again.
Is it? I don't know what's going on. So as soon as I finish this battle, I'll look into it. Resisted. Loop stain. Just present people left and right. Die. I'm gonna get some Emperor Palpatine lightning in the face. That's the last guy. We'll just use moves.
Yeah, we're working on the lag, guys. I don't know why exactly it's happening, but we're working on it.
Okay, there's the rewards. I got Ewok shards. I got Chirpa, Ewok Scout, got Tebow, useless gear that I won't really use. That's a nice piece of gear. Ooh, I got one. Okay. So let me figure out what's going on with this lag.
All right, so I'm hoping you guys can still hear me. It's just the video is a little bit laggy. So while Ranger is working on it, I'll just kind of run through some other things. We will be talking about the server outage that happened. So that will be coming up. We also will talk about what happened with the guild leaderboard. But first, let's talk about something that should have happened today but didn't, which was the Omega battles. So Omega battles were scheduled to begin today. There were going to be 2 days of it, one today, one tomorrow. But the event got canceled. Again, it's a little disappointing that it got canceled, and I think everybody would feel the same way. But it got canceled because there were bugs in the event, and they didn't want to release a faulty product. So even though EA Jesse said that these were coming this week because of all of the different problems that were going on with the event itself, it was canceled, and so we don't have the actual events right now. But it's for a good reason. I don't know what you think about this, Ranger, but for me personally, while it's a little bit disappointing, I think I'm okay with the fact that they canceled the Omega event. It would be nice if they gave us all like 2 free Omegas, but
No, they don't need to do that. Alright. I don't know what's going on with the stream, guys. We'll have to I'll keep messing while we're doing it. The Omega event, I mean, they said why. They found some bugs and they'll bring it back. I mean, it's not like we're not going to get an opportunity to do it. So, yeah, I mean, we don't. Every time something bad happens, I mean, it wasn't like they launched it and it didn't work. That's different than other situations. So, no, we don't need to get free crap every time something goes wrong.
it is nice though.
It is nice. We'll get into that, but yeah. So, all right, what's next, man?
All right. So next, let's deal with what happened with the guild leaderboard. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not. The guild leaderboard after there was a server outage, the game came back up, and there was a bug where a handful of guilds were constantly getting points. They apparently, based on what EA Jesse told the community, it wasn't an exploit. It was a bug that was just giving these teams different points. And so some of these teams, even though the maximum at the time was about 1,400 or 1,200, were in. I don't know if you really fun when it was happening. We were kind of looking at it on Rebel Base and kind of having fun trying to figure out which ones would be at the top and which ones weren't. I want to give a shout out to a guild that didn't really do anything wrong, but they still made it to the top. Dextera, Dextera, made it to the top of the guild leaderboards with the score of 8,010 raid points. It was just awesome to watch them just raise. I was hoping this is kind of my silliness, Ranger. I was hoping that they would break 9,000 so I could start posting the Vegeta meme everywhere.
Good dog.
What?
You would.
What is wrong with the Vegeta meme?
Oh, nothing. It's great.
Come on, tell the truth.
I could care less. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the damn stream. All right, what's next?
If you guys aren't familiar, the Vegeta meme is where he yells out, "It's over 9,000" because of the first battle with Goku. Now I'm kind of shifting into Dragon Ball Z really quick, but that's a separate issue. But so there were a few guilds that went over. It has since been corrected, so if you guys look on the guild leaderboard, everybody there should be legitimately at their score. The 5 guilds, I don't know what happened with them. They haven't kind of openly said what happened to them. My guess is that they just reset their guild points because most of them weren't even doing tier 7 to begin with. They all look like they were lower guilds. Some of them were incomplete, like 28 out of 50 people. So obviously they're not getting 8,000. They're not getting 2,000 raid points this early.
All right.
yeah.
I think we're up. We're okay right now. I don't think the lag's hitting, so I think we're cool for right now. I say that once.
Well, this is a perfect segue then, Ranger.
Okay. What are we? What's next?
It's time for you to vent your anger.
You know what? That's a good point because I'm already pissed off with this technology stuff. Let me talk to you folks, the peeps out there. We did a stream this past Saturday where we invited Grande Patron and Lampshade to join myself and Finity to do our first draft for characters, to form a team. We couldn't really do anything. It was just something fun. Maybe when we can do duels later on, we'll see whose team was the best. Bar none, Lampshade had the stupidest ass team ever. Which is fine. I thought that was understood, right? And it really was between me, Grande, and Finn, depending on how you viewed it, who picked the best. I didn't have a problem with that. I could finish third. But for a while there, you knuckleheads had me and Lampshade tied for having the worst team. Which means there are people out there that watch that and are watching this stream that felt justified in picking Lampshade as having not just better than me, better than all of us, the best team makeup. I want to know, what in the hell are y'all thinking? First of all, let's be real. Lampshade is not a real person. He's an evil spirit from another dimension. We allow him on the stream because he helps us out once in a while. That being said, what are y'all looking at? I mean, you don't think I have a great team? Great. You don't think Grande has a great team? Then pick Finn, or pick Grande, or pick me. But when you pick Lampshade, it makes me wonder, what in the hell are you looking at? It's bad enough we have to deal with Lampshade as he is now. The fact that you guys are boosting up his ego to where he was going to come into this stream, and I know he's going to do this, and talk shit about saying, hey guys, look what I did. I picked the best team. You guys know what you're talking about. I made a great choice. Stop it. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm calling you out. We don't see who actually voted, but if I could, I put your names on the ticker and say these people voted for Lampshade. I award none of you any points, and may have God have mercy on your soul. I don't know. Maybe I'm cray cray in the head here, Finn. This is maybe just me. Maybe I'm overreacting. When you saw this, when you saw that Lampshade was getting votes at all, what was your initial reaction to that? And that he was ahead of me. And for a while there, he was close to you guys until it started separating out, which shocked the hell out of me.
So I'll let you continue here, because in our YouTube chat here, Joe Buck, Ewokin, has said that he voted for Dark Lord Lampshade.
Well, then y'all, then I have no explanation for y'all. Y'all just trolling. That's what you're doing. You're just trolling because y'all feel sorry, some kind of pity for him, because that's not a real vote. That's ridiculous. When I thought his team was very well put together, I mean, he had first order. He didn't even add. He had Phasma. He didn't even add Phasma. I mean, that team. He waited till the last round to get a character with a leader ability.
I think,
and he didn't even pick the right one.
In all honesty, I don't even think he picked Nebbit because he had a leader ability. I think he just wanted to pick a Jawa. I think there was a very good chance that he picked a character and didn't realize it had a leader ability.
See? Y'all are specifically trolling because you want us to have to put that thing on here so he could tout his superiority, and he doesn't. Be real. Pick Finn. Pick Grande. I don't care if you pick me, but don't pick Lampshade. Friends don't let friends pick Lampshade.
Uh, so if you guys, so the vote is still up
Unbelievable.
on our webpage.
What is the vote right now? I haven't even looked. I was so infuriated.
I put it in the ticker. When I last put it up there to update the ticker, I was in the lead with 38. Grande had, I believe, 20.
Good.
You had, I think, 16 or 18, and Dark Lord Lampshade was behind you, I think, by 1 or 2 votes at like 15.
1 or 2 votes behind me. Which means y'all
So
thought,
you know
not
what
just
this
me,
means, right?
that y'all thought out of all the teams picked, not just mine, all the teams, you thought Lampshade did the best. I don't know what to tell you. I really am. I'm speechless. What do you can't justify it to me. There's nothing you can say than a troll comment. Like, well, because if you try to break down that team and explain it to me, I mean, that you're just being ridiculous. You're just looking for some spotlight or something. So we're going to have some Q&A later, and if you would like to come in here and try to tell me how Lampshade's team's better than any of our teams and justify it, I would love to debate you on this subject. And trust me, you better come prepared, because I will call you out. If you are trolling, I'm going to call you out for trolling. I digress.
And we still have the vote up, by the way. So if you go to our website, realsithofgenius.blogspot.com, you can still vote on the draft on which team you thought was the best. And per Ranger, don't vote for Lampshade. Wink, 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 wink.
I don't care if I win.
I'm on the live stream.
I don't care if I win. It ain't about me. It's just the fact that Lampshade is getting votes saying he had the best team out of all of us. It's like, okay. Unbelievable, man. So, I think it's a conspiracy. They want, ever since the dish incident with Jade, I'm a fan favorite. But y'all don't know, he's evil. Once you let him in, he is in. We can't get rid of his ass.
Hey, he did tell you that he was trying to overthrow you from the stream.
See? Y'all don't know.
It's the first step in his master plan.
I'm trying to
keep
it real in here. You know, I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now that I've been able to vent my anger,
get you back into a happy place.
Let's talk about something more important than ELL. Let's talk about something else. What's next on the agenda there?
Let's get you back into a happier mode.
Yes, I would like to be happy.
Into happy mode.
Yeah, Lampshade makes.
Let's talk about Rebels.
Ooh, Rebels. I love Rebels. What about Rebels we're going to be talking about?
So, the new season is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Starts on the 24th. How do you feel, Ranger?
I'm
coming closer.
Stoked, man. Stoked. I already know how I feel. Y'all have heard me talk about Rebels. Finn, how are you feeling?
I'm getting ready to start catching up, and then watching the first episode of season 3. So I'm hoping to get caught up before it starts. I have 10 days ahead of me.
So when he says get caught up, he means power through the first 2 seasons.
I have to somehow power through to the first 2 seasons.
And that ain't my fault, man. I've been telling you, Finn. It's coming.
Hey, there's nothing I can do about real life. Real life content hits you in the
30 minutes episodes. You could have been watching 1 or 2 a day. But
no,
I applaud you for you're gonna grab some Red Bull, some Monster. And we should actually wait for the next stream where you just watch like 2 days with no sleep of Rebels, and you just eyes all bloodshot, and you're looking like something that crawled out of the Black Lagoon. Like, but let's talk. They did release another. They've been releasing some snippets, so let's look at one of the snippets that they released. I don't know if you haven't seen this. It's just from a scene from the upcoming season. So let's look at that. I don't know why it's playing again. Hold on a second.
They want you to remain happy.
Oh my god, I told it not to loop, but it's looping. Oh well. You know what? We'll do this. We can leave it playing for a minute or two while we're talking about it. I don't think it's too loud. If it is, guys, let me know. What did you think, Finn? I mean, when I saw this, it's like, oh boy, Ezra is going dark side. I mean, look at what he's doing, and he's becoming
he's
pretty.
killing dark side people.
Yeah, but the act itself that's, you know, do you be able to manipulate others in the Force is one thing, but I mean, he's I mean, it is badass that I mean, that's a high level ability, and you're starting to see Ezra come into his own with his powers. They really talk about that this season is where we see Ezra, you know, really come into his own. It's really going to be focusing on Ezra, and I'm completely losing my train of thought here, but I know he's one of the main central focuses of the season. So we've got till next Saturday, man. So I'm pretty stoked. We wanted to show you guys that because we're going to start branching off into some other Star Wars stuff, and we're going to keep you guys hip to it. It's not just Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. There's other Star Wars stuff in there, and where do you think they get characters from and stuff like that. So, you know, we've already started seeing that with the Rebel Pathfinder that they're launching in the game. So we're expecting some of those characters to be coming out, of course, after the movie. I'm actually shocked that they put a character like the Rebel Pathfinder, because I don't think with Force Awakens they put any characters out until after the movie came out. Is that correct? Am I off my rocker there?
I honestly don't know, because I started playing in January, so everything was already kind of in place by that time.
All right. Well.
So I have a reason why I'm not sure.
Well, we don't know. So
I didn't say it was valid. I said I have a reason.
tell us what you think of the upcoming Rebel season. Tell us what you think in the chat. I know this is Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but we're all Star Wars fans. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, but you play Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, more power to you. But please go watch the movies and watch Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that. I mean, it really, to me, that's where it always has been. Is the arcs of the characters and the stories that have always moved to Star Wars and the fantasy of it. So I just happen to lean on the dark side of the Force. Sorry, I think it's cooler. When you see that, Finn, I mean, you have not seen the show, but what do you think when you see so? Because we've done, we've seen some trailers and stuff like that. This is another little snippet of a trailer from a scene that they've put out there. What did you think of that?
It's pretty interesting because everything that what I know about Rebels has come from a little bit of research when we do the character creation, and then a lot from Ranger, who helps. He's pretty much kind of the driving force behind a lot of the character creations because he knows the characters so well. And it seems like Ezra was pretty much just kind of a loner, very much looking out for himself. Then he got some friends, and he really like kind of dealt with the friends. In that clip, he seems like he's defending people, so he's becoming more of that leader type personality based on what I saw there, which I think is an interesting kind of evolution of his character.
Yeah, he's really growing up in front of our eyes, so I really like that. So stay tuned. We got some cool stuff coming up about the Rebel season, which we'll get into next week before the season of Rebels starts off. But we got some exciting news about Rebels, so just stay tuned for that. All right, what's next, Ben?
So let me give a few more shout outs here. We have a few more people joining us in the chat.
Who we got?
We have Shadow Veil from our
Mighty
guild,
Sai.
the Mighty Sai. Yep. We have Scott Awesome, Mr. Keggy H himself.
Awesome. Scott,
we have
who is awesome.
Praetorian Pyro.
Very nice.
We have Droid Lord Griff.
Our boy Droid Lord Griff. Always glad to have him on the stream.
We have Lucas T.
Of course.
We have Tassagore. We have Lord Business. And we have a former guest host with us on Real Sith of Genius, Mr. Raymond Azab.
Awesome. Glad to see Raymond in there. Remon. However you say it. You say potato, I say potato, Raymond, ramen, whatever. But check his channel out. I'm surprised the Great Bearded One hasn't snuck in somewhere and made an appearance yet. So
he might have already snuck in, hiding behind his beard.
He does that. I mean, fear the beard. You never know where it's on the loose. All right, awesome. Keep the comments going. Finn's watching and monitoring the comments. Let's get back into some more Star Wars Galaxy Hero stuff. What's next on the agenda there, Mr. Finney?
Okay, so let's get to what was maybe the biggest event that happened since our last stream,
Okay.
which was the server outage.
For those who don't know, who missed it, I don't know how, but you're a new player. Oh.
So the game was down. The game was just down. EA
And
as a
we
whole
were
had a
losing
big
our minds. You should
Oh,
have
yeah.
seen Rebel Discord. It was the funniest thing I had ever seen. I mean, people were like, "Have you ever seen that commercial where like they don't have internet and they're just sitting there like after 15 minutes, after 20 minutes?" That's what the chat was like. People were just like, they were going gaga. I sat there watching it. I was in tears. I was laughing so hard because I was. I think I was the day. When did that happen? It was the day. What was it? Last week. What day last week was it? I think I was homesick. Because you guys know I'm still recovering from that dreadful crud that's been going around. But yeah, I was sick as a dog. I just remember just cracking up, just watching everybody just going, "Is it up yet? It worked." It was so great, man. But the game went down, and how long was it down for?
It seemed like forever. It was awful.
It did seem like a forever.
And yeah, and it was like right around people's PvP times, and then they couldn't do Galactic War, and people were getting reset, so they weren't able to complete it. It was all kinds of chaos.
It was so.
So yeah, and so it's a very interesting thing that happened though. It's a new development as of the last month or so. CG has really taken a step up in terms of dealing with the community and the members. This outage, for those that didn't know, was an EA outage. It was a massive EA outage. There were other games besides SWGOH that EA is kind of overlooking that had outages, and it was a major problem. And if you had gone online at that time, like the EA server outage was something that kind of everybody was looking over. So CG, however, after it was done, realized that whether or not it's CG or whether or not it's EA, CG is the one that kind of ends up getting the blame because obviously they're more closely tied to this game than EA is. And so after some discussions, they came out with a reward pack for everybody that basically gave you top tier rewards from every event that you could have done during that time period.
Yep.
So, for example, I only really missed out on the 45 energy because for me, the outage I think happened somewhere around like 1 o'clock until about 6 o'clock or something like that. And
Same for me.
so I missed my 45 energy and Cantina energy. And oh, okay. So two things, Ranger. One, the video is lagging again. And two, let me say hi to Dutch on the stream also. So so we're working on the synchronization again. But so what happened was the outage didn't allow me to get the Cantina energy and the regular energy, which was really just 45 of both. They gave so many rewards. They gave like 500 crystals. They gave 500. Let me get you the exact numbers here because I have it written down. So they gave, and so most people should have gotten this in their inbox, by the way. It was 500 crystals, 500,000 credits, 500 Cantina tokens, 500 guild currency, 1,000 PvP tokens, 1,200 Galactic War tokens, 1,500 ally tokens. And then in another email, they gave you 1 Omega, and they gave you another 1.25 million. So in total, you got 1.75 million credits in compensation for a problem that they didn't even cause.
It was pretty impressive.
It was. What do you think about the amount they gave, Ranger?
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was generous. I mean, if they'd given even half that, I still would have been pretty impressed. But that they gave that much, I was like, holy crap. You know, I mean, we knew we were going to get something, but it's always small amounts here and there. But this time they really went at the bat and came up with some pretty impressive rewards. You know, I mean, I was like, go CG, man. That was all right. It's aight. So okay, what? So based off that, I think we have a video on that.
Yeah. So
sorry, I'm all over the place where we're doing this, trying to fix the stream.
Yeah. So while it was down, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Homestar Runner. It's kind of an old website, most famously known for Strong Bad emails. And Strong Bad is one of the characters on there who reminds me a lot of Darth Maul. He's in our thumbnail for this video. So if you guys were wondering who that other character was, it was Mr. Strong Bad himself. And he occasionally will answer emails, and they used to put it up on their website. Hasn't been too active as of late. I think their last video was back in April for April Fools. But when the servers were down, I did spend my time listening to this particular song.
All right, let's watch.
It's the email. What? The email. Hey, Strongbad. You like techno at all? If you do, what kind? Silent J. Oh, very clever. Well, it's not really my style, but I heard a techno song one time that went like dum 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 dum, and then this other part came in and it was like dum 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 dum, and then there's always some kind of high pitched noise, you know, or like a siren. It's like dum 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 dum, and of course they have to put in the obligatory old movie quote from some sci-fi movie like the system is down, the system is down, the system is down, the system is down, dum 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 dum. The system is down, the system is down, the system is down. The cheat is grounded.
I think it's done playing. Okay, it is done. Sorry. I'm trying to work on the stream and everything like that. So, well done, Finn. Well done. All these little things that you guys are seeing are brought to you by the letters F, letter I, letter N. Finity. So, I thought that was pretty funny when you put it together. So, thank you, Finn, for that. So let us know what you think about these little videos we do. We try to do a little fun stuff in here as much as we possibly can. I think you want to offer on that, Finn?
And we do have a link to the Homestar Runner YouTube in the description of the video also. So definitely make sure to check it out. They're older videos, but they're still really good, and I love Strong Bad emails. So if you guys haven't checked those out, definitely make sure that you do.
Awesome. All right, what is next, sir?
So there was actually a couple of new things that came up on the Reddit since we did our initial stream prep, Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these things may be a little bit of a surprise for you also. So I hope you're ready.
Okay.
All right.
Surprise me.
All right. So the first thing, a lot of people have been trying to save their ally tokens in hopes that they will put out another event that has refreshes that uses those tokens. I am one of these people. There was a post by CG Capgasp that says that, quote, we aren't likely to use them for refreshes again. While it was nice for some users, it was too problematic because some people simply didn't have enough, and there was no easy way to acquire what they needed. Feel free to spend them on bronziums. So, what do you plan on doing with your saved ally tokens if you've been saving, Ranger?
I haven't been saving. I spend those all the time. You know, I just go through and buy, skip, done. You know, so I didn't really know about that. I've never really saved those because the Bronzium prizes are really, you know. So, but if you're saving them, spend them. I mean, it does give you a chance for some lower tier gear and stuff like that that you do need because it just, just saves you that one less node you need to farm for a piece of gear or something like that. So, I don't know, really no particular too deep of thoughts on that. It's not like a subject room.
So maybe I have been saving. I think I'm close to about 100,000.
That's because
So
you're a hoarder.
maybe at some point we can do a stream where I just open up Bronzium after Bronzium after Bronzium.
You want to do that for next stream?
Yeah, we can try either next stream or maybe we can do it on one of the weekends. Hopefully, when we're free, we can try to set that up.
All right, so we'll see if we can get.
So
Finn
everyone,
to...
keep an eye out for that. There may be a
the
weekend stream at
ridiculous
some
amount
point.
of Bronzium openings. Oh God! All right, what else came out? There's good man.
So there was another post regarding the credit heist.
Okay.
And the fact that the last stage on the credit heist, I don't know if you noticed this, I did, and I didn't realize it was whether it was a bug or not, had a different number of mobs in the last stage. Did you notice that?
I did not notice that.
Okay. So the last stage of the credit heist could have 3 people, 4 people, or 5 people. These were the numbers identified by screenshots. I'm not sure whether or not there were less or more than these, but in a post on the Reddit, CG Capgas, but once again, really good about communicating with the community about all these different things. He said that the fact that there were 3, 4, or 5 at the end, quote, that's intentional. They gave me the ability a while ago, and this was a way to test it in the wild. In the future, I'm hoping to be able to use this to make events a lot more dynamic, so they don't become rote after a few plays.
Interesting.
So what do you think about this variability in kind of the events?
I didn't notice this, so I can't really talk about it. I mean, if it's something that they're looking at doing, I mean, if you got 3, that's a hell of a lot easier for some people than 5. I think it's kind of smart. You give somebody an opportunity. They don't have the team to beat the 5, maybe they can beat the 3 at a higher level. At the higher level one. So interesting concept. I have to look at the data and see how much of an impact it had per se. But I think it's a cool idea. Yeah, I'm all open for them doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept that it's not going to be like the same thing every single time. We saw a little bit about this with the Yoda event. So if you remember, like the Yoda event in the final stage, he was kind of flanked by 2 different Jedi, and you could basically restart it until you got the right combination. With something like the credit heist, which by the way should be open for most of you guys right now. Is this still open for you, Ranger? Just on cooldown?
I think so. Let me look. I know I did it. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I did it. I figured I'd done it.
Yeah, but but you can see that the credit heist is still there. It has the cooldown. So for those of you guys that haven't done it yet, the credit heist is up. So make sure you do that before it's over. You now know about the variability in the last stage. But to go back with the Yoda event, it happened basically once you entered into the stage. With like the credit heist, for example, you have to get through 2 other stages to get to that point. I have no problem with it in this particular aspect because there is no cost to do the actual event, right? Because it doesn't cost energy, it doesn't cost credits, it doesn't cost crystals, none of that. If it costs something, I can potentially see this being a problem because somebody would pay 20 energy and could do one with 3 but can't do something with 5. It could get frustrating.
Yeah, I agree.
But other than that, I don't really see any issues.
Okay. What else we got, good man?
All right. That's pretty much it in terms of news from the community. We do have questions now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into the.
All right. Are you ready?
Sure, let's do it. As I gotta try this hard Ewok and probably get slaughtered, but oh well, let's do it anyway.
All right. So, just for everyone's reference here, these questions, we're grabbing some of them. There haven't been too many questions in the chat today. A lot of it is kind of just trolling you, Ranger, or
Troll,
Dark
huh?
Sword Lampshade.
If you want to be Lampshade's buddy, and then when that comes back and bites you in the ass, I don't hear any bitching or crying about it. Ranger was
We did
right.
have we did have a statement for something you were asking earlier, Ranger. So we got an answer from the community when you were asking about the release for The Force Awakens and whether or not they actually had characters that came out.
Okay.
Scott Awesome mentioned that Resistance Trooper and First Order Stormtrooper were given out in November, and the movie came out in December. So he
Okay.
says those are two characters that came out early.
Okay, good.
So it looks like there is some precedence for that. Going to some of the questions you guys were asking us, um, let's go with a little bit of a harder one. So we have a question from Lord Vapor,
Okay.
who asks, how would you stop guild hopping without punishing players that don't hop? So to give a little bit of context, they did implement a rule that made it so once you join a guild, you would be on a raid reward lockout for 48 hours. But that pretty much stopped merking, which was like mercenaries going in and just finishing up raids and everyone, because there's no point to that. Guild hopping, however, is still alive. And there are a lot of guilds, I won't say a lot. There are some guilds that still do that. If you guys don't understand kind of the concept about how that works, um, essentially it takes 5 days in order to get you the 150,000 guild bank coins, because at most you can get 30,000 a day. You can run tier 7s pretty quickly. There's no timer on it. It's just however fast you can kill it. And now there's people that can like solo an entire raid themselves. So it's not very hard to clear tier 7s. The raid reward lockout is only 2 days. So that means you could get 150,000 guild bank coins in one guild, do a full raid, and then switch to a guild with alts that leaves it at some amount, and you could just continue to do that again. And you could rotate through about, I believe it's 3 guilds would maximize it. So if you went from one guild to another guild, and then 3 guilds that were always rotating with 2 sets of alts and one being the main, you could do basically 3 times the normal amount of raids. And so the 48-hour rule really doesn't stop this. It does stop merking. So what would be your solution then, Ranger, for stopping guild hopping? And I'll put if you want to stop guild hopping.
I could care less. Why do you care? I mean, it's its player style. It's like the old adage. Should people that don't want to be in a guild be limited in the game? They want to play a game differently. I really don't care, and I don't know why a lot of people care about this either. I mean, so they guild hop. They were asked to guild hop. It's not like they just came into a guild and were like, I'm going to take all your loots. That's not quite how it works. So I don't know. I don't see an issue with this. I mean, I don't know what your feeling is on this, Finn, but I mean, I really don't see an issue with this.
I mean, so for me personally, I don't really care. I do understand some of the complaints by people outside, which is that that what happens is some people are getting like 3 times the raid gear, so they're able to gear up their characters a little better. So once you have, like, for example, the meta right now is kind of switching from this wasn't the full meta, like there wasn't just one, but it's switching largely from like old Ben lead and droid leads to going to Palpatine leads and Wedge Lando leads.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't have these characters geared up beforehand, right, you have to spend time in order to get raid gear for these characters and get them up to speed, versus somebody that's guild hopping and then they can get these, they might already have these because they're getting 3 times as much. So that's kind of where the complaints come in. Me personally, it doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either.
It takes a lot of effort to do the guild hopping.
It
Like
does.
conceptually, it's pretty easy, I can tell anybody how you're supposed to do the guild hopping properly in order to maximize it and all these different kinds of things. You have to really be, at least your main account needs to be a pay to play, because as a free to play, I started an alt. There was no way I could keep up with everything on both accounts.
Yeah.
There's like too much to do on my free to play account that I couldn't handle two of them, because you can't keep everything up to the right amount. And so the other one really kind of fell behind, so I haven't even bothered with it. It just kind of sits there, and every now and then I check something in the game with it, but that's pretty much it. So if you have the capacity to deal with two alts, make sure that you spend 600 energy each day and continue to move along with that. Honestly, more power to you. It doesn't bother me.
All right. What's the next question?
All right. So the next question is from Droid Lord Griff.
Okay.
So he asks, how does the release of raid gear in the shard shop impact any possible character releases to the shard shop, like Grievous, for example?
Okay, say that one more time.
Okay. So right now, the shard shop, you're collecting all the shard shop currency. People are using it pretty much just for like the characters that only have like energy nodes and those kind of things, right?
Mhm.
There is one shard shop exclusive character in Grievous.
Right.
But recently, they released raid gear
Okay.
into the shard shop as well.
Right.
So the question is, how does the release of raid gear in the shard shop impact any possible character releases to the shard shop, like Grievous, in the future?
I don't know yet. That's kind of a good question. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, personally, I think the raid gear in the shard shop is a total ripoff.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
takes 6,300 shard shop currency in order to get a full piece of raid gear, which usually includes obviously the 50 salvage pieces, but then also something else, like depending on the piece, I might need like one of those Mach 3 Centaur Hollow projectors or whatever it is, right? But if you need 6,300 of the different shard shop currency,
Mm-hmm.
and you get 15 shard shop currency for every shard, that requires 420 shards of a character in order to get. Most players are not in a position where it's smart to spend 420 character shards on a piece of raid gear versus getting a character for those 420 shards.
Right.
Like the cost doesn't really balance out. It really is more geared towards like the pay to play, who in all honesty probably don't even care to begin with. So in terms of your question, Griff, I don't think it really has any impact, because the pay to play will probably be the only ones that are buying raid gear because it's not cost effective, and they'll also be the ones that will buy the new characters anyways. So I don't think that there's going to be much impact in terms of new character releases in the shard shop.
I don't either.
That's my 2 cents.
I think someone was talking about Vader. Something that I just kind of dismissed it. Like, I mean, you can afford it to, refresh enough to where you can get a 7-star Vader and finish him up. Hey, more power to you. Ooh, 1.15 million. I got 10 Ewok Elders. I got an Omega. That's nice. I got Chief Chirpa. Some more of those. Let's see. I got Ewok Scout. More Tebow. Great. Ooh, another nice little piece of gear there. Okay. Okay. And poop. I got poop. Okay. So not bad. The rewards are pretty decent. That was a little bit more difficult than the hard one. Bonus tier 1 was. So I would have had it, but I messed up and I let my Grand Moff Tarkin die. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to get 3 stars. I tried to do it for you. I did. Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, the Ewok event's tough enough. I do think you're going to need characters pretty geared. 80 high star, high gear with high mods. Because you saw, even with my characters that I have, they're pretty geared to the teeth, except for IG-88, but I mean, he's almost geared 9. They hit hard. I do think having Emperor Palpatine in there makes a huge difference. I think having Vader in there made a huge difference. I went with AoE, so that's why I had IG-88 in there. I could just AoE decimate those little... The thing you have to remember about the Ewok event is that if you don't kill one of those little low-level ones and leave a little bit of health, they do way more damage. And if they have that skull thing on there, they'll really hit the hell out of you. Like, I mean, Grand Moff Tarkin had full health, full protection, and he hit that... I mean, he smoked his ass. I couldn't believe it. So, fun event. I like it. All right, what else? What's the next question, sir?
Well, just to go back really quick to the shard shop, it brings up an interesting point. So, Brandon Aiken is in our YouTube chat, so welcome to him. Assassin Master, Mr. Urban Blaster, is with us too. So welcome, guys. So one thing that Brandon mentioned is that we mentioned the shard, which was 420 shards that you needed.
Mm-hmm.
He also mentioned that it pretty much takes 28 days to get to that 6,300 from GW, which is probably the source where most people are getting their shard shop currency to begin with.
Right.
But one thing I'm gonna put out kind of for everybody, because it is a distinction that needs to be made. A lot of times, because Ranger and I play for a while, we have certain strategies that we're using with the game. They introduce things into this game like the raid gear for shard shop currency, like the credits for arena tokens. And a lot of these are going to be more useful for the players that have played for a while. Something to kind of keep in mind for the newer players. So this is going to be directed more towards players that are either just getting started, just hitting level 80, just starting tier 7 raids, those kind of things. Don't fall into this trap where you're always trying to get raid gear.
Right.
Most of the time, your characters, even with gear 8 and 9, are going to be fairly viable with the Rancor raid. You don't want to set your expectations super high off the bat. You don't want to aim with trying to solo the entire thing on your first try. You'll work at it. You work on a good group composition. That's going to be the most important thing. And in order to do that, when you're a new character, you really need to focus on characters themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of these extraneous things like the raid gear and those kind of things. All of those will come in time, but you don't want to start spending all of your different currencies and spread yourself so thin that you can't do anything with it.
Right.
So if, for example, you spend your your Galactic War currency on shard shops because you really want to get gear, think about all of the different characters you're missing out on. Right? You're missing out on...
Yeah, I'm character farming like mad, dude. I mean,
yeah.
That's what I recommend. Gear will come. If you're raiding like we are, I started to pick up a lot of my gear. Now, once in a while, like today, I blew some loads because we had these stun prototypes in there, and I needed some, because it's mainly for your tanks. I do have a lot of tanks. These suckers are hard to get, so every time I see one, I usually go and pick one up. I picked up, like, I couldn't believe it, was like 2 sitting there. I was like, oh, scoop that up. I was tempted to get this other one, but I'm like, I'll wait, get some more crystals. But yeah, characters what makes the world go around. You can see I'm going down my roster. You can see I've got a lot of characters that I've got unlocked already that I'm working on. I'm kind of working on Amagundi still. He's 5-star. I'm working on Resistance. Working on Asajj just because I can. I'm also working on Finn, so I can get the speed mod challenge done. So I mean, farm characters. That's the key to all this. Gear will come, right? And finish right. You know, you will get an opportunity to get gear eventually, but get the unlocks take longer than getting the gear. You know, but just be smart about it.
Yeah, and think about what's been going on in the game recently too, right? So we had the Rancor raid, which was focused a lot on turn meter characters. So all of a sudden, people were farming Ewok Scout, Tusken Raider. They were upgrading their Qui-Gon, Tebow, right? Then all of a sudden, Dengar came in, so people were trying to get Dengar from the guild shipments, right? You still had to worry about Arena. So with Arena, people were trying to farm Jawa Engineer for a droid team. Then you have the mod challenges, where you need all these different character sets in order to get the top tier mods. Now you have the droid-based raid, the AAT raid, that's going to be coming out hopefully soon, and that one has bonuses to Jawas. You had the Palpatine event, which required rebels. You have the Yoda event, which requires Jedi. You have the heist events, which required scoundrels. Like it's pretty much nonstop, and they're doing a good job of trying to introduce different events for different character types. When these kind of things come, you don't want to fall behind on like another Palpatine event where it only comes so often. You want to be in a position where you would be able to do it if you wanted to. Doesn't mean that you need to have them 7-starred and level 80 immediately. You want to have the potential of having them at that level, right? So you want to collect shards, make sure that if the day comes that you want to get them to level 7 and level 80, all you need is credits in order to do that, right? You don't want to have to try and farm shards, because as Ranger can attest to with the Lando thing, it can take a while, and it's stressful when you're trying to get all of these different shards and RNG is against you when you're trying to get it in the time crunch.
I did it, but I don't recommend it. Ever.
so yeah, so with the original question then, with regards to that, Griff, I don't think it's going to impact the actual characters being released, because the main people that will be buying the character shards will be mainly pay to play characters. There might be the occasional free to play that's really focused on that one character for whatever reason. But other than that, I don't think it's going to have much impact. And for all the newer players, keep blinders on a lot of the new things that are being put out there, because you don't want to be distracted and waste a lot of your currency in game, because it
No.
is pretty rare.
Great question. As I'm starting to do my Galactic War, what other questions have you been getting?
All right, so we have another question from good old Maurice, who asks, do you have any news as to if or when we will get another mod removal weekend? So if you
I've not
guys
heard
remember,
anything.
a little while ago, there was an event, I'll call it an event, where you could unequip and re-equip mods for free. It was over, I believe, a 48-hour span that you could do this. Did you like that, Ranger?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. You can kind of mess around, move mods around. I think it was a big help because the credit crunch was kind of more real than it is now. So I think it was smart. I don't know if they're going to bring that back, mainly because of all the stuff they've introduced. I mean, my God, I mean, I've got so many credits I'm just saving up for. You know, I've got what 19 million credits now, and I'm just working on. I'm going to be over 20 million credits. You know, I'm in a position to where I could go to Squad Arena if I really was hurt and easily redeem some and get some more, credits. So, I don't know. They might, because there are a lot of new players. I think it would be cool if they did, but I want to hold my breath. I don't think they're going to be doing that anytime soon. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I don't think they're going to be doing that anytime soon.
I don't think it's going to come back, because the one thing to remember with regards to that event, and I'm saying that in quotes because it really wasn't an intended event. If you guys remember what happened,
That's
it was
true.
because they changed the way mods worked entirely. They made it so that the stats were way too high. Everybody basically complained that all the raid gear they were getting was pretty much useless, that it was pretty much all about mods. And because of that, they then dumbed down the mods, but then people were getting mods that they didn't actually pay for. Like, that's not what they wanted.
Right.
And so because of that, they gave the free move around event so that you weren't penalized because they changed the mods. So that was the context of that quote unquote event to begin with. So because of that, I don't expect that this is going to come back, because there really isn't a reason for them to do it. They scaled the cost to remove the mods based on the mark. So if it's a Mark 1 is cheaper than it is a Mark 5, part of the strategy with regards to mod is making sure that you can manage the credits that it costs. So you do want to make sure that you keep that in mind. It does deter people from moving around the high end mods on characters for raids and those kind of things. You can still do it. There is a cost to it though. So personally, I think mods are in a good spot right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything about it, but I would also very highly doubt that they would put out another event that requires that's a free mod removal, because there's
Right.
no reason for them to.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Right.
Um,
What else we got?
so all right, so we have a couple of questions in the YouTube chat, but they're more about getting to know us questions.
Sure.
So we have a question from good old Maurice asking whether or not you play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes on an Android or on an iPhone.
I play on an Android, and I have the Android emulator, which I use for the streams and stuff. I don't like the way I did this. Sorry, I got distracted by this damn GW. Yeah, I definitely use Android. Finn, what do you use? iPhone, right?
I use iPhone. Yeah. I have an old iPad 2. It's not an Air. It's an iPad 2. It can run SWGOH. It's a little bit slow though, so
Yeah.
I don't tend to play on the iPad. But so I mainly play on my iPhone.
Cool.
We have another question that's directed towards me,
Is it-
asking
is
what
it-
I am wearing.
Is it personal?
It is personal. So it's our Gildy Lucas asking if what I am wearing is a Big Ben jersey, and in fact, it is.
Ooh, I didn't know you were a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So you learn stuff new
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. So one thing just to correct. Thanks. Good old Maurice is telling me my eyes are lagging too, along with our stream. It was Reggae Dragon that asked that, not good old Maurice. Sorry about that. That asked your question, Ranger.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the stream, guys. I can't figure it out. Everything seems to be working.
No. This one was all me.
Oh, okay.
It was Reggae Dragon that asked that, not good old Maurice.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us, by the way, Reggae Dragon. I hadn't.
How dare you ask these personal questions?
So with Lucas, yes, it is a Big Ben jersey. I was born in Pittsburgh, raised in South Florida, so I'm kind of a double city teamer in most sports. Something Pittsburgh, something Miami based. So in football, I'm a Steelers and a Dolphins fan. So
Nice.
you'll see over my left shoulder here, I have my Cameron Wake jersey in the back also.
Cool. Awesome. What else we got? Anybody that wants to jump in and give us some questions or anything like that?
We have people in the masses, but I don't know if they want to come in, so I don't want to just bring them in unexpectedly.
Well, I know that's why I was asking if anybody had asked. If you want to, then,
No.
then
And we don't
balance.
have the bearded one with us today, so.
Well, we can still talk to people without the bearded one. Christ. All right. So, what's the next question, sir?
That's it for the questions. Now we have, because we shifted to football talk at the very end, we have different people spouting out their affiliations.
Mm.
So we have Urban Blaster, Mr. Assassin Master, saying that my Steelers suck and go Broncos. We have Ewokin saying that the Steelers and the Broncos suck and go Patriots.
Okay.
Reggae Dragon, who's now my favorite person in the world, is saying go Dolphins. Droid Lord Griff is going with the Jets. But then he says Gino for the win, so he pretty much disqualifies himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's out. And yeah, and Lord Business, I think, has the right idea here. He's saying that all of the lag is from Lampshade from the Phantom Zone.
Probably. I mean, he's always cursing us in some form or capacity. I mean, I do apologize for the lag. I just don't know what it is, guys. I've been sitting here dinking around trying to figure out what it is. We'll eventually figure it out. So, yay. All right. So I'm sitting here doing GW. Kind of see who I'm just messing around with. Finn, you did a video for GW here recently. You did as a new tutorial, right?
Yeah. So Are we ready to close up shop here, Ranger? We're
No,
going through a
let's
lot
keep.
of that stuff.
No, let's just talk a little bit longer. We can talk about the video.
Okay,
Why
so
you want to get off?
well, I won't answer that question. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I
so
thought. That's what I thought.
well, yeah. Okay, so we've done a few more tutorials on our YouTube page. So there was one on Wednesday that I put up regarding GW. So previously I had just done a GW, put it to music, and with that, just kind of let you guys visually see what I did with GW and how I get through mine. There are a lot of different strategies. I can only really talk to you about my strategy in particular, but in order to get a little bit more in detail, we recorded a tutorial, which you'll be able to find on our YouTube channel, that gives you a lot more details about what the steps are node to node, how you do group compositions, what the best way to kind of tackle each one is based on my strategy, which is more of a turn meter strategy. So make sure to check that out if you guys have any issues with Galactic War. Um, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, yesterday pretty much worked on setting up a calculator in order to figure out defense and how it affects armor.
Yeah, talk about
That
that.
we have, yeah, we have a video. It's another tutorial that tells you how to use the calculator. So if you guys want to check that out and play around with your mods and see how it affects your armor, definitely check out the tutorial video. This one is considerably shorter. So the Galactic War one is a little bit like around a little bit more than an hour because it goes through all the nodes and I go kind of slowly through step by step. The tutorial for the calendar is only a 10-minute video. It'll tell you guys how to use it and figure out how to enter in everything. But definitely check that out. Leave feedback in that video if you guys have tested out the calculator just to see how the defense and armor works. And we're working on some more during the week. We'll hopefully have some more about Arena, one about Galactic War shipments, which Ranger is going to be working on for the Arena. I'll work a little bit more on the Galactic War end. And we'll try to keep bringing out some fun stuff for you guys kind of offline in the YouTube channel. So definitely make sure that you guys check it out and set yourself up for the notifications.
Absolutely. Yeah, that mod thing. How long did that take you to do? 12 years.
It took me the better part of a day. It was kind of on and off because most of my like meetings were either in the morning or in the afternoon for work. So I had a good stretch in there where I mean I wasn't fully concentrated on setting up the formula. I was kind of doing work also. So I would say on and off over like 6 hours or so.
Impressive. I thought you've been working on that for like it's your natural life.
Yeah.
So we don't have any
So
more questions. Interesting.
well, Lucas is asking since we brought that up whether or not the defense mods actually work.
Ah,
Defense mods do work. They increase your armor percentage, which then reduces the amount of damage you take per attack. There is a bit of a diminishing return, which means that if you have a character that starts off with a high defense, so for example, Old Ben, his effect from, let's say, a +2 defense is going to be less than if you put that same mod on Emperor Palpatine, for example, who has 120 defense, which is the lowest in the game.
good.
So the lower your defense is, the more effect a plus stat mod, so +4, +3, will have on that character. Percentage wise, I haven't tested out how much of a difference it makes because obviously, if you're higher, like let's just take 10% for example. With Old Ben, if you add 10%, he adds 39 or 40 plus defense because he's just 393. Emperor Palpatine is 120. If you add 10%, he adds 12. I don't know if that +12 is equivalent to the +39. I haven't tested those numbers specifically. In terms of the absolute amounts, though, the absolute amounts definitely have a greater impact on lower defense character versus higher.
Right.
But the calculator is there so you guys can kind of test it out. Enter in the percent numbers, enter in the plus numbers, figure out what the estimated armor is. It usually comes within 0.03% of the actual armor. So you'll be able to get a pretty good estimate of what your armor would be as a result of adding different mods. and you can do this without having to pay or do stuff in game. So
See what Finn does for you guys. He didn't have to do that. I would not have done it, and we know definitely that Lampshade would not have done it. So no one wants to challenge me on their pick for Dark Lampshade, huh? Cowards! You're all cowards!
we'll do this next time. Let's make it interesting. If you guys want, please send me a message in the Rebel Base Discord about why you would defend Lampshade over Ranger's team. And next week, we'll try to have a little bit of a forum discussion where you guys can give your arguments to Ranger, and Ranger can defend or argue against.
Not my team. How you pick Lampshade's team over any of the other teams, right?
I'm kind of more interested in the Lampshade versus Ranger. That amuses me more.
It could narrow it down a little bit. That was my main argument. I don't care if I win. It was just like they're picking over all three of us. Like, really? And I did the standing call. Really? I was like, what the hell are you thinking? Oh, but I digress. All right. Kind of a short stream tonight, but that's okay. We've had a couple of issues. Yada yada yada.
So if you guys are so if you guys are just joining us, remember we're gonna try and involve more of the community if you guys want into some of these different things. So we have the first Real Sith of Genius challenge for you guys, which is if you can solo tier 1 or tier 2 of the Ewok assault battle with just Palpatine, if you can solo it and you send us a video of it, we'll feature you in the stream next week, and you'll be first up for our first Real Sith of Genius giveaway, which we're going to start working on, especially as the holidays come nearby. So definitely try and solo that. Ranger and I are excluded from our own prizes, so you don't have to worry about competing with us. And the other one is if you guys would like to be on Team Lampshade and defend his team over other teams, please send me a message in Discord, and we'll have a little bit of a fun forum in the stream next week, and we'll try to get everybody in there, and you guys can argue your points against Ranger.
All right. Awesome. All right, so let's end this stream. I've got this stuff up. Tell the folks what they can do to like, subscribe, and get to our videos.
All right. So we have the link to our YouTube channel. So please make sure to subscribe so you guys can get updates. As we mentioned, at some point, we'll try to do Finity Bronzium pack opening since I've collected so many ally tokens, and CG Capgasp has said that most likely there's not going to be anything regarding them. So we may as well open Bronzium. So that's probably what I'll go ahead and do. So we'll try to do a stream about that maybe on the weekend or maybe one of these streams. So make sure you subscribe. Check out our website. We have a lot of different things on the website. Most recently is going to be the defense and armor calculator. So you guys will want to check that out. You'll also want to look at some of the older posts with some of the new things coming out like mods. Make sure that you look at one of the old posts that tries to justify the cost of mods in the mod shipments. They may not be as bad as you think. Once you look at how many crystals it would actually cost in order to get it, definitely make sure that you compare, see whether or not buying these things from mod shipments is actually worth it. It may very well be the best decision you've made without even thinking about it. Check out the Rebel Base Discord. We'll be hanging out there after the stream for a little while, and during the day we also have discussions, like discussions about Pop-Tarts and Belgian waffles and stuff regarding the game also. So definitely come and have some fun. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube, our Facebook, and our Twitter, so you guys can get updates there. We played the Strong Bad video earlier, so make sure you check out also the Homestar Runner YouTube channel, which we have the link to in our video. And as one final thing, Ranger, we have a special person in our YouTube chat, one of the originals of Real Sith of Genius that got us kind of launched off.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Sith Lord Stu.
What?
He is in the YouTube chat. There is a Stu sighting.
The good. You've come back to the dark side of the force. Strong with you. Yay! We're glad to have Stu. He was in a little bit earlier Discord. I was like, Stu! Yay! So awesome. So yes, maybe he'll be in the voice chat when we get done here. I'm not saying, but maybe I'm saying. I don't know. What am I saying? I think that about covers it all. Anything else you want to hit on, Mr. Finn, before we end everything?
No, that's it. Come join us in the Rebel Base Discord.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Real Sith the Genius.